Absolutely.
Our host hotel, this is really cool. Our host hotel is the Westin National Harbor, and we met with them yesterday. And the Westin is actually devising a special menu for the night before for the pasta dinner. So we're working with them, giving them ideas on what foods to have on that menu and how to really exceed the expectations of our runners. Not only our runners who are staying at the Westin, but our runners who come to packet pickup at the Westin and then stay for dinner.
They can take part of that pasta dinner the night before. Yeah, that's great.
Absolutely. They have to pay for it.
Right, of course.
Yeah, I know a lot of ways to do it for free.
No, but it's well worth it, for sure.
Yeah.
That's great. Can you talk maybe a little about some of the challenges you've experienced doing this thing? I mean, obviously, there's a lot that goes into it. It's been such a long process. What are the biggest challenges that you can cite maybe in the 5 years he's been planning this thing, or however many years
it's been 2007.
Yeah.
Well, the biggest challenge at first was getting the bridge. That just shut down the project in 2007. That's not an issue now. I mean, the challenges, and all big races have this, and I'm sure a lot of your races do, is jurisdictional issues, getting permits from various places, and learning the procedures, learning how people want you to do business with them. And making sure you get it right. So we've had some challenges there. Some of it's been smooth. Some of it's been a learning experience.
Right.
But you always expect there are going to be speed bumps in a first-year event. There's no model when you start this. So we're working all on a model, which transfers over on September 20th to year 2. Now we have a model.
Right.
So we don't have to reinvent everything. We can do a better job with what we've done in year 1, make it even better in year 2.
Yeah. Also, I was curious about, I know that you've covered the elites in the area for years. Is that something you envision this year, having a good elite field, or moving forward having a good elite field? How is that going to shake out?
Yeah. Throughout my career, as running has become a participation sport as opposed to mostly a competitive sport, I've been conflicted. 3 decades of watching the transition of the sport. It used to be, guys like you and I would go out and compete. And now people come in and they raise money for charities and they lose weight and they do whatever they do. They're not going to win. They're not interested in competition. So I've been kind of, waffling for years about, do I like this newfound runner? Do I not? And I've always maintained that no matter what, I would cover this sport as a competitive sport. And I do have elites coming in. I have over $10,000 worth of prize money, which in this economic environment is huge. I'll let you know that Rock and Roll Half Marathon in Virginia Beach has canceled their prize money this year. And that's a huge race, and that used to draw an amazing amount of elite athletes. It's good news for me because those elites are coming to my race because I still am the breadbasket for the elite runners. So I have some 103 half marathoners already signed up. I have a woman who's a 113 and a half, which is super. I have time bonuses. I want these runners to win my time bonuses. I want fast times to put that on the map, that we are a serious competitive race, not just a participatory race, but people up at the front.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm impressed that he's been able to, have this as you got great competition up front, not compromising the great experience in the middle, and then, the middle to the back of the pack, but also having such a great charity angle to it. And I know you run with Back on My Feet, and maybe you can speak on a little bit about, that was part of your vision too. You mentioned it was the charity angle. How are they going to, be a part of it?
Great, yeah. I made a commitment to 6 charities, and that's a challenge, first of all.
Another challenge,
Another challenge is there are how many charities in this nation, and who do you pick? Do you pick 1? Do you pick 10? Do you pick 20? And I came up with 6 because I figured I could give $5,000 to each of them as seed money right away. And so that's $30,000 of prize money.
Wow.
Find me a race, a first-year race, that puts out $30,000 of charity money right from the get-go. I mean, that's way out there. So not only are they getting the money from the race, but these charities are able to fundraise through our race. We haven't done the sophisticated website stuff this year that they'll be able to do next year. And next year we'll have a much better fundraising opportunity. But one organization in particular, I single them out because they've been we've talked and I love what they're doing. TMA Resources in Vienna committed to Autism Speaks to raise $15,000 amongst its employees. And I believe they've exceeded that number.
Wow.
And so that's
awesome,
a
man.
great
That is.
corporate nonprofit through the race.
Wow.
So it's on top of what I'm already giving them,
Right.
and they're getting. So just to go through the charities, Back
Yeah.
on My Feet is one, and Back on My Feet runs 2 running programs in homeless shelters to help empower people in homeless shelters to get back on their feet.
Become self-sufficient and
Right.
Exactly, and you know that you run with them, Phil.
I do,
And we
Yeah.
have 15 of the residents that are running, and some of well, I don't think any of them have ever gone the distance of 13 miles.
That's amazing. Wow.
They just emailed me yesterday that they're up to 10 miles, and I'm really excited.
They did that this morning.
They did it?
Nice.
They did it?
Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah. I mean, it's going to be really pretty, emotionally overwhelming for me to watch them come across the line and be hugged by their fellow and people there. It's just going to be overwhelming that as a step back from being in the abyss, if you will, they are using my race on the journey back
Right.
on their feet. And that's very touching. I have the American Heart Association on board. Runners should be involved with the American Heart Association for keep away from strokes and have a healthy heart. I have Autism Speaks, which I mentioned before. And Autism Speaks has done some great work. I have an autistic savant son, and we have benefited from the research that they've done for the families, so that kind of is near and dear to my heart. Another near and dear to my heart is Child and Family Network Centers, which is in Alexandria and Arlington, and we provide free preschool for 200 at-risk 4-year-olds in those 2 regions. I chair the board. Phenomenal work that this organization does. Another one is the Alice Ferguson Foundation, and a lot of people don't know that foundation except when I say, do you know about the Potomac Rivershed cleanup and watershed cleanup? And people say, yeah, I know about them. That's the Alice Ferguson Foundation. They put that on. So they're big in the environment. And I was looking for a piece to help the environment. And the last one is the Washington Area Women's Foundation, and that was brought to my attention by our race ambassador, who is Doreen Gensler. If you haven't seen her before, you better have seen her before.
Yeah.
Can you know that?
there you go.
And she came to a training room this morning after being up for the 11 o'clock news last night and looked
Trooper.
like she had 12 hours of sleep. I mean, I don't know how she does it.
Right.
But she and her husband came and ran with us, and she's on their board and very committed. That organization gives grants to organizations that bolster women and girls, and that's an important thing for me.
Yeah.
And it should be for all men, that we
Absolutely.
have strong women. So those are our charity groups.
That's great. Can you tell us a little bit about what do you think the runners should expect? Let's see, weather-wise, this time of year in September. Hopefully we'll get a mild day. Other things. You talked a little about the race amenities, but other things that they might be able to expect on the course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's my hope that it starts in the 50s and ends in the 70s, but you could get any type of weather.
Yeah.
So we're going to be ready for heat. If we don't have the heat, we're going to enjoy cooler temperatures.
Yeah.
One thing I can tell you is that there's usually a breeze over that bridge, and that's going to be really helpful. And the other part is that the parkway is mostly shaded,
Right.
as you know from the parkway race. So our runners will have some reprieve if it's a hot, sunny day.
And they've had a lot of experience training in the heat this summer anyway,
Yeah.
so they should be ready to go.
And is it wave starts, or everybody starts at the same time?
It's going to be 2 waves of 2,000 with
Okay,
a
2 waves of
5-minute
2,000.
difference.
Okay.
We are going to have an early start. There are 2 championships that are going on in this race at the
Right.
same time.
Right.
And one of them is the USABA inaugural half marathon national championship. And USABA is the United States Association for Blind Athletes. And I've been a guide for a blind athlete for many, many years, and that's an organization that's done phenomenal work. And so I offered them to host their national championship. You run in a race in California that is their marathon national championship, Cal International.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
so you may have seen them there.
I
So
have, yeah.
we have a handful right now. I hope in the next years, if I have some money and I can pay some expenses, we can get more of their athletes in. But I think it's a wonderful thing to enable a blind person to run in races and to do everything that able-bodied runners do. So I have a commitment to that. And the other half marathon championship is the Potomac Valley Association national or regional half marathon championship, and that's part of USATF,
Yep.
the USA Track and Field.
It's incredible he has all this time to put on a race with all the other stuff that you're involved in. I mean,
Yeah, it's impressive.
It's remarkable.
It's 24 hours in a day.
So,
Same
so
as you
where do we sign up? Where do we go to sign up for the race? And you said 500 spots left, you think, or so?
They're going fast,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't wait. I really wouldn't. I'm not just saying that as the hard sell.
Right.
Go to the website. It's www.wilsonbridgehalf.com. Sign up on the website. If you have questions, my email address is on there. Actually, I did something that most races don't do, and as covering the sport, it always used to bother me when I would pick up a race application and try to ask for information. I would have a website. The race hotline is on here, 703-587-4321. That's my cell phone.
Yep.
Call me. I am the most personal event director I have ever seen.
Right,
703, get your pens out, 703-587-4321. You will talk to the event director. Whatever I can do to help you. People have called me. They've been trying to sign up. They had a question. The big question was, is there a finisher medal involved with this race? Yes, there is. Good. I hit the click and they signed up. So you can reach me through email, through phone. If you have questions, sign up. Yeah.
It sounds like an amazing event this year. Where do you see this race going? How big can it be? And in the future years, are you going to have? You mentioned maybe you're going to have a change of date potentially in future years. Yeah.
Yeah, next year, and this is not official, so please, officials out there in the municipalities, don't go freaking out. I don't have permits yet. But we're looking at October 2 for next year, and maybe staying with the first Sunday of October. It used to be Army 10-miler Sunday, but Army 10-miler has moved off of that Sunday. I love that date. It keeps you out of the heat a little bit more, and it puts you really in the sweet spot in the October running schedule. What I see this race outliving me. Mm-hmm. And I see it growing. I would love to put 10,000 people in the half. I would love it if the city of Alexandria, and yes, Mayor Yule, I'm going to be coming to your office to talk about a 5K that starts in Old Town and comes over the bridge, and you know how many people will sign up for a 5K over the bridge.
Right.
It's just going to be amazing.
Right.
So running concurrently with this race.
Well, that's great. There's 500 slots left for this race. The race is on September 19th, and it starts at 7:30 a.m. You can run from Alexandria to the National Harbor. Steve, it's been great having you on the show. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you for having me, Phil.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. What are you going to be doing race day?
Having beers.
Having beers, great. That's fantastic.
So that's great. That's great, Steve. Thanks again for coming on. We'll definitely see you at the finish line having beers.
He'll be there. I think he's probably going to be working a little bit. That's not
He's going to be working. Probably having beers.
Pacers will be working for sure.
You guys will all need a beer when it's all over with. But we got to get running right now. So thanks again, guys. And we'll see you guys out there at the Wilson Bridge Half Marathon. It should be a great race. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll catch you guys next time on Gotta Get Running. Bye-bye, everybody.